details. That's propeller.la/Super Bowl LX. No donation required for entry. See official rules on propeller.la for details. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
How about a simple New Year's resolution, one that even I could achieve? Reverse the clock on hair loss with Advanced Hair's simple one-day FUE treatment. You will feel more confident and more youthful when you witness your own natural hair growing into those places that have been balding or thinning for years. From Advanced Hair's breakthrough technology to their highly experienced team, there is no one I trust more in hair restoration. Their simple FUE treatment begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day, and your new hair is backed by the Advanced Hair Guarantee. I know from personal experience, Advanced Hair's exceptional standard of care makes your comfort and your results their top priority. Celebrate this new year with a fuller head of hair and get a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 720-459-HAIR. That's 720-459-HAIR. Discover what meeting your resolution could look like with the before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
At Berg Simpson, we are passionate about what we do. We bring that passion and our expertise to the office and courtroom every single day. We're always working hard and are committed to doing everything we can to give our clients the best opportunity to have a great result.
If you've been injured, call Berg Simpson for free now at 303-790-2525. 303-790-2525. BergSimpson.com. Good lawyers changing lives. It's not just a slogan, it's who we are.
Hey Broncos country, it's Terrell Davis here. It's a new year. It's time to work on a new you.
At Fitness Gallery, we have deals everywhere, up to 50% off. We have the nation's lowest prices on the best equipment money can buy. We carry true treadmills. They are the smoothest, quietest, and best warranty treadmills ever built for the home. Work out on your schedule on the equipment you choose from the safety and comfort of your own home. Visit one of Fitness Gallery's 7 convenient locations from Colorado Springs to Fort Collins. We have you covered.
Gold demand is skyrocketing to record highs. As more Americans rush to preserve their savings, will there be enough gold? I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe physical gold is the only way to truly protect your 401k or IRA savings. Gold offers tangible security that can't be tracked, stolen, or inflated. That's why I strongly advocate for gold IRAs. To learn more, text the word SECURE to 989898 now. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, and their thousands of great reviews prove I'm not alone. So don't wait another second. Protect your retirement savings today and see how easy it is to move your IRA or 401k into physical precious metals. Text SECURE to the number 989898 for your free gold IRA info kit. Again, SECURE to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply.
Every Christmas, you watch a classic movie. The one with Jimmy Stewart as caring banker George Bailey, and the one with the other kind of banker, Henry Potter. You watch It's a Wonderful Life because you are searching for someone who cares about you, a man like Jimmy Stewart's George Bailey. But you wonder, is the notion of a caring banker a fantasy? This is Glenn Jamarot. I'm president of the Alpine Bank family, member FDIC. Alpine Bank believes in one guiding principle, caring. We believe that if we put our customers and communities first, then everything we all hope for has the chance to come true. The most valuable thing one person can give another is caring. When you care, everything else just follows. Alpine Bank, committed to Colorado and you.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. Getting you set for today's game. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents Denver Gameday. Powered by CommonSpirit Health, official healthcare partner of the Denver Broncos.
Welcome in, Broncos country. It's Denver Sports Station 104.3 The Fan. It is Denver Game Day. The Broncos hosting the New England Patriots. Today at 1 o'clock, it's Kyle Reese, Marcello Romano. Sean Boyd is behind the glass for Denver Gameday. We are preparing ourselves for...
You went to the corner?
Yeah.
You got some water?
Yeah. You know what? Listen, man, Sean came in here and said, hey, man, you know this thing is on YouTube, so lick your lips and look in the mirror and get yourself together. I had to go
you
to
got
the
to be
bathroom.
presentable, man.
Yeah, straighten up, sit up straight, get yourself together. Are we good?
I've never seen you react like that. Yeah, you went in, freshened up. You went to the corner. You went to the bathroom.
Yeah, I don't think I've been talked to like that. Hey, man, this is on YouTube. What the hell's wrong with you?
Tighten up.
That's the first thing he said,
I
too.
got the clock
hey,
all
man, I
messed
don't want
up.
to put no added pressure on you guys, but
yeah.
Hey, man, this thing's live.
Yeah, get your best Mike Rice impression together and let's go. 303-713-1043. That's the RamosLaw.com text line. And I guess we're on YouTube, too, so let me sit up straight and pull myself together and get myself ready for a Bronco victory. We're going to go at Sean plenty, and I'm talking about Sean Boyd because he is a Raiders fan, so I'm sure you're taking plenty of joy in having to listen to us talk about the Broncos in the AFC Championship yet again.
I mean, everywhere I go, brother. So, like, let's say I'm at the gas station. I was working at another occupation before I came into the show this morning, and everybody around there is spirited out with all their orange and blue on. Hey, Sean, are you going to watch the game? You going to talk about the game? It is what it is, man. It's a beautiful day, man. It's a holiday.
It is a holiday.
It is. It's the 28th anniversary of the Broncos' first Super Bowl championship.
28 years ago?
1998.
That's a bar. How many alumni do you anticipate being in the building? What's the list look like? A-list wise?
I could tell you.
Well, we got Elway. We know that one. He's the honorary captain. You have Champ Bailey, who's going to plant the flag before the game starts, get the crowd all amped up. I'm assuming the sheriff will be there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He was on the airwaves this week.
We'll have plenty of that to dive into during these next 2 hours as we get you prepped for Broncos-Patriots AFC Championship.
Shannon Sharp was there last week, had a camera following him around. He's got his thing going on. I know, like, Rod Smith, frequents Bronco games. I mean, it's going to be the who's who because it was like that last time and the time before that. So, yeah, I mean, that's the nice thing about Denver and being a Broncos fan is that not only do you get a good opportunity to root for the Broncos, but the guys that played for the Broncos, they stay in town, and they love this city. Like Peyton Manning could have gone anywhere. Peyton Manning is around. I think that's one of the coolest things one of the coolest gifts he's given us is that, he sticks around and supports the city. I'm good?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All
right. I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah, everything is good, guys. I'm just, I'm just talking to you guys behind the scenes, kind of letting you know that we got some Peyton Manning thoughts here that we can dive into whenever and however.
Let's talk. Let's hear from the sheriff. What you got from him? Yeah, like I said, just him staying in town.
Well, and he's a fan, man. Especially for a dude that spent so much time in Indianapolis. And is probably more so known, because the majority of his career was played out in Indianapolis. Like, to your point, this is a great state. It's a beautiful state. And why can't you go get another Super Bowl appearance today?
Yeah, came onto the station this week, talked a little bit. That's one of the cool things about having, like, Stoke and Stink. Yeah, they can push some buttons for you. And the huge conversation this week has been about, oh, man, what are the Broncos going to do with the quarterback situation? Who better to talk about a quarterback situation and a guy that probably has some question marks coming into a championship game than Peyton Manning?
Yeah, I think Sean has a good feel for Stidham and knows the plays that he likes. And, certainly, Stidham doesn't get the same amount of reps that Bo does during the regular season, but he had lots of training camp reps and played in the preseason. And, Sean has all those plays filed away. Hey, Jared really throws this route well. Hey, this play, maybe Jared doesn't see it quite as well. It's more of a Bo Nix play. Let's probably not run that play. That's the beauty of being the head coach and the play caller. Sean knows all those things. He's going to put him in good situations that he likes. And I thought Sean called a really good game.
I think if you listen to what he's saying, Peyton Manning, if nothing else, is always pretty honest. And when you and I were talking during the previous show about, is Broncos country trying to convince themselves that they have a legitimate opportunity in this game. When you hear the likes of Peyton Manning breaking it down, and there's a certain level of comfort in his comments, Kyle, of like what he knows and believes about Sean Payton and Jarrett Stidham up to this point. Now, obviously, we do not have a lot to go off of. There's just not a lot of game film from it. There's not a lot that we can point to. There's not many instances in NFL history where you've had a situation like this, where like most of the guys that we've even brought up that have had success as backup quarterbacks and winning the ultimate, their runways were much longer than what Jarrett Stidham had. Jarrett Stidham had 7 days.
Yeah. Jeff Hostetler came in at the end of the regular season. I think he had 2 games left in the regular season. Actually, he lost to the Bills that year before beating them in Super Bowl 25, I believe that was. Who else? Nick Foles had a little bit of a lead up as well. Who else? Brad Johnson. I'm just thinking.
Trent Dilfer.
Trent Dilfer had a lead up as well. So there have just been guys that they had a little bit more notice that before going into this particular situation. But
well, I mean, they had their teams kind of have an idea what to expect.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Where I think the Broncos have an idea, but that's practice. I mean, that's practice, Jarrett. We haven't seen it here in 2 years.
Yeah. So it does sound a little bit like we are trying to convince ourselves that everything is going to be okay. And when you've got an unknown, I think you go through a little bit of that. You talked about the 5 stages of grief in our last show about, how you get over the Bo Nix injury and the fact that it happened so late in the game. You can argue that it was unnecessary. There's a lot of things that leave you scratching your head about the Bo Nix injury, but you've got to accept the reality that Jarrett Stidham is going to be your quarterback. And now if you're Sean Payton, yes, you have to do what Peyton Manning said. You got to find the best stuff for him, dial it up, find out the things that he likes, and lean into those. But at the same time, you've got to remain, and Sean Payton's going to do this, aggressive and keep your foot on the gas, and you can't leave anything in the chamber. Was it Peyton Manning that talked about this as well?
Back in this game, if you got a good play, if you got a trick play, you got something you think might work, go for it, because it's a long off season if you don't win this game, so I might as well go for
it. You're going to see it. We talked about it earlier. You're at some point or another, and I'm not saying it'll be you had the Frank Crum touchdown last week. I brought up the Riley Dixon pass in last year's AFC wildcard game. You have the onside kick in Super Bowl in the Super Bowl against the Colts. Something's going to happen in that respect. And one of the things that we say is maybe a disadvantage or we don't know because we haven't seen it can also be looked at as an advantage for the Broncos. Because what are the Patriots prepping for? And listen, there's a tie-in there because Josh McDaniels knows Jarrett Stidham, probably knows him next to Sean Payton as well as any coach, right? Because he was on the staff that drafted him in New England. He traded for him to get him to Vegas. But he's a different player now. I think the development of Jarrett Stidham probably has gone further in his 3 years here under the tutelage of Sean Payton, and watching Bo Nix play a game differently maybe than the way he would see it has given him more of an opportunity to like go, I could do something different here. Where that's the exciting part of the game, because I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised as a Broncos fan to what you're going to get out of quarterback play. Normally, and the way that people are probably looking at this nationally, and while they're clowning the Broncos in New England, is because you're going to beat us in an AFC championship game with your backup quarterback, and people scoff at that.
Yeah.
Normally, this team isn't that normal. This coach that you have leading the charge is not normal.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that Frank Crum play, because John Morton was brought back into the fold after being fired as offensive coordinator in Detroit. That is very reminiscent of like Ben Johnson and Penei Sewell and some of the more athletic guys that they have there that they deploy in unique ways. And so one thing that I like what Sean Payton's got going on is he's got some smart people around him, and he's taking input from them and finding opportune times to put it onto the field. So, yeah, you're going to see something like that just in terms of a small wrinkle that's going to give you a competitive edge in a critical moment. So I'm looking forward to that, honestly. And then just in terms of Jarrett Stidham and Bo Nix, maybe we can compare their game just a little bit because Bo Nix athletically is better than Jarrett Stidham. I mean, just making plays with his legs and designed runs. There's probably more confidence in Bo Nix in being able to execute those things, even though Bo Nix was a little skittish last week when he was running the ball.
Underrated athletically. I think nobody thought we were going to get this out of Bo Nix. And I think he surprised a lot of people.
It's a good thing, right?
He's in NFL history. He's in like with having so many yards thrown, how many yards rushed and rushing touchdowns. He was right behind Jalen Daniels last year, dude.
Yeah.
See, I want to throw something interesting at you guys really quick, okay? And I ran across this earlier this week. The class of 2015 top dual-threat quarterbacks coming out of high school, and I'm going to give you a list of 6 guys because there's other 4 guys on there we never heard of, never seen them before in life. It starts with Jarrett Stidham, Kyler Murray, Juwan Jennings, Sam Darnold, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson.
You said we've never seen those guys?
No, he eliminated the other ones.
You've never heard of Jason Pellerin, Sharon Jones, Travis Jensen.
I know Sharon Moore.
Yeah, he's in bad shape. And then Brandon Winbush. We've never heard of those guys.
Yeah, no.
But when you start talking about dual threat quarterbacks and trusting Bo Nix's ability to be able to run and elude pass rushes, I think Jarrett Stidham has a little bit of that in his tank as well.
Probably unexpected, right? Bo Nix was the number 1 player in the country at the time. Kool-Aid McKinstry was talking about that on the podcast with, I believe, Patrick Surtain. But in any event, that's something that he's been able to lean on over the first 2 years of his career with the Broncos. I don't know if you're going to see as much of that today. Maybe you see it in one of those moments and you get like a Peyton Manning moment.
A helicopter?
No.
Where the seas parted and he just took off?
Yeah. I have to run this down.
That was a bootleg. Yeah, he's like, oh, man, there's somebody out on the edge. I gotta run.
I mean, to your point, Sean, Sean Payton brought it up this week in one of his press conferences. He said something about Jarrett Stidham being the top dual-threat quarterback. I tend to agree with Kyle, though. I don't think that's something you're focused on today. If it happens, if it's just the way the play kind of unfolds and he has an opportunity, I don't think he's going to be afraid to run. But as far as like designed runs, like what we saw last week with the 12 carries that Bo Nix had, I don't think that's going to be part of it.
Or him bailing himself out of situations where the progression got muddy and he made a play with his feet, because you see a lot of that with Bo Nix as well. One thing I would look for is hopefully they can get the running game going early, and now you're going to get bootleg, play action, and he can do those things and get out on the edge athletically and make some plays to tight ends, running flood concepts, and those kind of things.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
If Stidham goes down, you're in a world of hurt. Listen, we've spent all week breaking down the ability of Jarrett Stidham, but after that, it's Sam Ehlinger and then Ben DiNucci.
I mean, that's what got the Broncos in this scenario in the first place, was the 12 design runs for Bo Nix in the first place, right? So you got to limit those. If you're coach, you got to limit those to maybe 1 to 2, maybe even 3 at the most, and then let the guy let it fly.
But you can't go all James Merrill. James will tell you can't bubble wrap these guys either. So, and one thing that, Dan referred to, one of our loyal texters in the first show here, Jarrett Stidham's going to be fresh. Like, you don't have to worry about mileage. You're good there. So, let it rip,
rolled
man.
out to Target this week, and nobody even knew who he was.
Actually, sometimes that's a good, I don't know. I've never been famous.
I don't know that I'd want to be.
Yeah. I'll take the check.
Yes.
But you can keep the, not being
all the
able
other
to go
stuff
out in public.
Are you an approachable guy, Kyle? Out in public?
No, you tell me.
Now that I know you, I would go up and talk to you. But, when we worked together years ago, I don't know that it would have been, hey, it's Kyle.
I guess not. Probably not that much. But if you actually talk to me, like, I'm not.
Yeah, you're cool, dude.
Yeah. But just, just getting to talk to me. that's part of the problem. I don't know, SB. You know me for 10 years.
Yeah, I'm like, you always came across as a genuine gentleman. You know what I mean? We had a really good night in Iowa one night. Right?
I won't remember that.
Had a really good night in Iowa one night. But hey, look, you come across as a gentleman that is a leader of men, right? You leader of young men. I even put your name in the hat for the CSU job.
Vance Joseph vibes from you, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I figured like with a little bit of innovation, if they would have, let's say outside of Jim Mora, you would have been the perfect fit for this situation. And I believe that because you need somebody young in there that can come in, that has the pulse of the state.
Yeah.
You're not going to let anybody out of here that's worth it.
I'm going to let you keep going, too.
I'm just trying to tell you the truth, Kyle.
Hey, man, because I could have done, I don't know, maybe as good as Norvell.
It wouldn't have been any worse, I'll tell you that.
It wouldn't have been any worse than that. Golly. Actually, I thought he was a good coach. He just made some bad moves, man. Like, that's a place you have to know who you are.
Yeah.
And who you are is getting kids from around here that are tough, that want to play football and can play in the elements, and et cetera, et cetera.
Knowing who you are is something that Sean Payton is very good at.
Thank you, by the way, Sean. I appreciate the comment.
And we discussed this earlier with playing a backup quarterback. Typically, most people will be like, all right, we're going to rely heavily on the run game. Well, the run game hasn't been a strong suit for the Broncos since J.K. Dobbins went down. And I don't think they're going to go about changing the way they call a game. Obviously, the game plan will be different because you have two different style quarterbacks playing, and their talents are probably different. So you're going to try and highlight what Jarrett Stidham does best. I don't know that they get to that number. You said 20 carries for them to be victorious today.
Yeah, because
I'd love to see it. I just don't know that it's going to happen. I think it's probably 15 to 18, something like that.
I just think there's a winning recipe, and I think it's not more than 30 throws for Jarrett Stidham. And if it's, if 5 of those come in the variety that you don't care for, I'm absolutely fine with that. But I think if he has to throw the ball 35 times, you're in trouble. I'll just be honest with you. Midway through, I believe, the third quarter last week, Bo Nix was 16 of 32. And I think there was a conversation to be had about that as well, that, Bo Nix had a good game last week.
Great game.
I don't know that
you eliminate some of the drops, and it would have been like it was a damn good performance in my opinion. Listen, I'll give you these. You say 30 plus for Jarrett Stidham would be a bad idea.
I think so.
In his career, obvious minimal sample size, correct? Okay. 4 games.
Perspective.
He had 34 attempts, 36 attempts. And in his 2 games for the Denver Broncos, he threw 32 times and 34 times. He's going north of 30.
I would love to see them run the ball 25 times a day. I really would. Now, I know it might be a pipe dream.
If they get there, that means they're having success with it, right?
Yes.
It's 12 degrees outside too, fellas.
Yeah.
So throwing the ball in this is going to be a little complicated.
It's a rock. Now, they do some things to mitigate that a little bit, and, there's some gadgets that, you can deploy. But you're right. The weather is going to be a factor with throwing the ball, even protecting it in the run game. There's some things about that. So I just think 35 times. Listen, I don't want to put bad juju out there, but I would prefer south of 30 for sure. And Sean Payton has talked a little bit about preparing Stidham for this game. The elements are a factor. The fact that he hasn't seen a lot. The Patriots playing really well on defense. These are all parts of the preparation that went into this week. Sean Payton talked about it.
They practice at that speed, and it's happened before, and you can't. I mean, it's happened to me a number of times. He's a veteran, real good decision maker, good arm strength, and so he's seeing a real good defense each week. And there's X amount of routes teams run, and so, yeah, I mean, and then, it's putting the plan together accordingly.
And then it's him. It's Sean. And now the Patriots camp this week, there was a conversation about the multiplicity of the Denver Broncos offense, the multiple personnel groups, and how Sean Payton tries to keep you off balance, how much motion that they've used. Over 75% of the snaps, there's been movement. So look for that kind of stuff today, because
listen, we had the discussion earlier in the season about too many personnel groups and the frustration it caused for Bo Nix. And I'm not saying Jarrett Stidham doesn't know the offense. He's been in it for 3 years. I think he knows it very well. But how many times do we see early in games Bo Nix look over to the sideline and scream at his head coach, "Let's go. Like, get me the play call in. get me my personnel out here quicker. And to your point, like, how do you ever get into a rhythm if you're constantly flipping that up?
Yeah, you only complain about that stuff when you lose. Nobody said that after the Dallas game. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. It's a week-to-week judgment that you make. So I don't have a problem with how he gets other guys in the game.
But does Jarrett Stidham have that same authority that Bo had to look over at the sideline and
say,
let's go?
Oof.
I mean, he's been around the guy long enough. I think there's a level of confidence with Jarrett Stidham. You just go back to the way he handled being beat out in the quarterback competition last year and the level of confidence that he displayed and not being afraid to talk. I think he does have that type of authority. I think Bo Nix and him have those conversations behind closed doors.
But is it
of
necessary?
The frustration? No, I'm not saying it has to happen. But if you want to get to the ultimate goal, you're going to have to be able to voice your opinion.
Sean, let me ask you this, because Sean Payton does a lot on offense. And sometimes it looks simple, but there's a lot of complexity behind it. If you're going up against a defense that's playing really well and you're on your backup quarterback and you don't use multiple personnel groups and you don't use movement, how are you going to keep them off balance? Because I don't think the Broncos can line up play for play and just play their game playing it straight up. You've got to have some wrinkles.
I mean, I beg to differ just a tad bit, just for the simple fact that I feel like Jarrett Stidham and Bo Nix are like stepbrothers. They have spent an immense amount of time together. They've probably had dinner at Coach Payton's house a million times this season. So essentially, this is a plug-and-place type of situation. I don't feel like the Broncos have any drop-off. I think that everybody is everybody's juiced up and ready for the moment for the most part. And so all you have to do is make sure that those first 15 plays that you script up for Jarrett Stidham are crisp. They're in his wheelhouse. They're what he likes to do and where he's set up for success the most.
That's an interesting take. You don't think there's any drop-off?
No, sir.
And listen, I'm not saying that's crazy talk.
You want to know why, Kyle?
I just haven't heard that this
week.
Well,
here goes a crazy take. I mean, I'm just saying it because it's the facts. Jarrett Stidham and Drake May have the exact same amount of 300-yard games, which is one. And the only difference is Stidham's only had one start in his whole career.
I mean, well, steady for president then. What the hell are we doing? What are we waiting on?
Well, and we can do it on the other side of this break, but Sean isn't the only one who sees that. There's plenty of analysts around the National Football League that believe there's not going to be a big drop-off. Alex Hunt, Jordan Palmer, Carson Palmer's little brother, who's like a quarterback guru,
yes,
had a lot of things to say about Jarrett Stidham. And there's a confidence that I think that's where we may have been thinking, we're convincing ourselves, we're tricking ourselves to believe that they can win. We're not the only ones. You're getting it from everywhere, not just in Denver either.
All right, let's talk about that when we come back. Are we convincing ourselves, or is there really something to be confident in if you're a Broncos fan and you're up against the Patriots today for an opportunity to play in Super Bowl 60? We'll talk about that next.
Will the Broncos defense have an answer for Drake May? Will Sean Payton find more success in the run game? We'll break it all down in the Fan Football pregame show, live on Game Day from Mile High Station starting at 11 a.m. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Happy New Year, Susan. I really appreciate you picking up the bill for lunch.
I'm happy to. One of my New Year's resolutions is being better with money. So I've started using Upside, the free app that pays you cash back for buying gas.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I earn cash back just for buying the gas I was already buying.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make $200 to $300 this year.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play and start earning cash back on everyday gas purchases. Use promo code RIDER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents per gallon on your next fill up. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code RIDER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code RIDER. Code RIDER. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Brandon Stokely here for ROX Rocks Heating and Air. It is cold out there. Is your furnace going to make it? This won't be the last cold snap of winter. If your heating system is more suited for the bench, now is the best time to upgrade your system with the best pricing of the year. Take advantage of tax credits and energy rebates only from my team at ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Now play that jingle.
HVAC service, installation, repair, ROX, rocks, heating and air.
Let me ask you something. Is your money doing everything it can for you?
I don't know. How would I know?
Is it automatically saving for special events and keeping you posted on its progress? Like at Huntington Bank?
Oh, no.
Is it tracking your spending so you can make the best choices at the mall?
Nope.
Or setting limits on your teenager's debit card?
Definitely not.
Then it could certainly be doing more.
Yeah, sure sounds like it.
Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
I lost 60 pounds with soda, and the weight came off naturally. The biggest difference was having my own nutritionist, someone I could text anytime with questions. SodaWeightLoss.com. They deliver fast, easy, convenient weight loss with no hunger, no guesswork, and clients routinely look and feel 10 years younger. That's why they have nearly 9,000 positive Google reviews and thousands of before and after photos to prove it. And right now, join Soda and your partner joins for free. Go to SodaWeightLoss.com. That's SOTA weightloss.com. Soda Weight Loss is, say it with me, state of the art.
A lot of personal injury lawyers make claims about how good they are. But how do you know who's the best? Who will fight to get you the money you deserve? At Berg Simpson, we don't rely on simple claims like other firms. We have 27 best lawyers in America, 17 super lawyers, and we're one of the National Trial Lawyers' top 25 most influential law firms. Compare us to other firms, then call Berg Simpson.
If you've been injured, call Berg Simpson for free now at 303-790-2525. BergSimpson.com. Good lawyers changing lives.
Hi, I'm Lacey, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. And yes, I'm actually a jeweler. I bring dream engagement rings to life every day in our jeweler workshop. When I hand set your diamond into your ring, I think about creating a piece you'll wear for a lifetime. I pay attention to the smallest details and treat every ring with the same care and craftsmanship, no matter the size or price. Come see us in store. Shane Company engagement rings are crafted with care from our hands to yours, because a friend knows your love deserves the highest quality. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. How about a New Year's resolution where the commitment takes just one day and yet the results last a lifetime? Address years of hair loss like I did with Dr. Tanya Pauls and Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment using your own natural hair. Advanced Hair restores your bald spot, receding hairline, or thinning, and they guarantee your new hair will grow for life. Celebrate the new year with a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 720-459-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
Getting you set for today's game. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents Denver Gameday. Powered by CommonSpirit Health, official healthcare partner of the Denver Broncos.
All right, welcome back in. Denver Game Day, brought to you by CommonSpirit. Kyle, are we sitting in for Mike Rice? Marcello Romano? Sean Boyd is behind the glass playing a little tone loc. I think you got to have some fun with this, man. This doesn't happen often. Hasn't happened in 10 years in this city. It's easily something that can happen in another city and your team be playing in it elsewhere. So you got to enjoy the moment. You turn on ESPN this morning. You've got Alex Smith talking about Jared Stidham. Like, the focus is on your city. And that's a fun thing to have happen. It's also very nerve-wracking. Like, I've got butterflies about this game. You talked about just the anxiousness. Is that a word? I believe anxiousness.
Yeah.
Yep. That the players might be experiencing. Coaches might be. Coaches for sure. I can tell you, they got some butterflies. Probably didn't sleep well last night going into this game. It's fun, but it's like, man, you're just hoping for the best.
Yeah, and it's still one of those points, like normally when you get to this point of the season, Kyle, you're probably supremely confident in your team's ability. The Broncos have been thrown a little bit of a wrench because your signal caller, who led you to those 15 victories this year and 10 of them last year, is no longer going to be a part of the postseason run. So, like, you go back to the anxiousness of 10 years ago. Well, you still had the sheriff. And I know you're going against the Patriots and the GOAT and Tom Brady, but you were comfortable going into that game feeling if they play the way they're supposed to, they should win this football game. 2 years prior, I think, was the same thing. Anytime John Elway was on the field, you had that confidence of, as long as they don't hurt themselves. There's so many unknowns about what today's game is going to bring, not only from a Bronco perspective, but also from New England. They're here. They're probably here ahead of schedule. Drake May has had a phenomenal year, an MVP candidate, but he hasn't played good of late, hasn't played that great in the postseason. So there's so many unknowns that the excitement turns into anxiousness. I'll be excited all the way until they kick, and then I think the nerves will kick in.
I'll never settle in. I just won't. I'll always be on pins and needles until it's decided. I'm one of those Kurt Signetti guys, or Mario Cristobal when he turned around like, don't be giving me a hug. The game's not over, man. What the hell's wrong with you? Here's the thing. Like, there's in the atmosphere this week, there's been oh man, it was a good run, good for you guys. But I think you're right in that the Broncos are confident that they belong here, and damn it, they do. They've earned this. They've been one of the best teams in the NFL and obviously in the AFC. They deserve the opportunity. And because you're on your backup quarterback, there's no need for one of those sympathetic pats on the back. There is some different things that you have to do throughout the week because you are preparing with a different guy. But your team, your coach, your organization belongs in this moment. Part of this is me convincing me too. But even still, Dan Orlovsky on the Denver airwaves this week. Peyton Manning on the Denver airwaves this week. And Orlovsky talked about preparing Jared Stidham for this moment. This is what it sounded like.
Defensive guys say this all the time. Sometimes it's harder for them to play against the backup quarterback because they know less. They know less about the coach's flow, play calling wise. They know less tendency of the quarterback. They don't know what the quarterback is necessarily good and or bad at. And so I do think it's not out of the realm that Denver can find a way to win. Defensive guys.
We got to go Kanye on them. That's my superpower.
What, that you don't know?
That you don't. Well, that's not Kanye's superpower.
Listen, man, if this goes in the way of the Broncos and us, along with Broncos country, have every belief that they can get it done, even though they have to do it with a backup quarterback. Dude, if it happens, think about, you want this to be America's game, right? You want to have the background to it. Who did they have speak to them last night? These are the things I'm interested in, just as a sports fan, as any kind of athlete, as a competitor, is who do you have amping you up? Who's giving you those speeches that you need to hear the night before, the day of? What kind of speech is Sean Payton going to give his team before they take the field today?
Wouldn't it be crazy if it was Von Miller?
Yes.
But, I mean, he told you, he's orange and blue all the way through.
I think it's DeMarcus Ware.
It would be appropriate.
Just because, the guy, he's always around when when the biggest moments are. And I think this is apropos for the time, man. I mean, he's got to galvanize troops. I was going to ask you guys a question, though. Do you think that Sean Payton had Drew Brees speak to Stidham at all?
Ooh.
That would be a good one.
I don't know. Listen, here's what's great about some of those greats is that we found out on the morning show when Peyton joined them this week that Peyton sent Stiddy a text on Sunday last week after the news broke.
How cool is that?
I wouldn't be surprised if Drew Brees reached out. I don't think that's one of those things where Sean has to go, hey, can you shoot my guy a text? Where he had to tell Russ, stop texting Drew Brees. You're bothering the guy now. Leave him alone.
Yeah,
leave him alone.
There is a cutoff on the list for sure. But listen, so when you're talking about the head coaches, Sean Payton, Mike Vrabel, there's a benefit to having those guys as your leader because the Rolodex, think about Sean Payton's Rolodex.
Yeah.
He could call Bill Parcells. He can call a lot of people to tell them what this moment is like and how special it is and how much more special it can be. And then Mike Vrabel played in the AFC championships, got a bunch of Super Bowl rings, and then he played in AFC championship with Pittsburgh. That's one of the lesser
This is where I think it's hogwash when people are like, it's just another game.
Yeah, nah.
Because obviously in the regular season, you're not doing this stuff. Obviously, just from the media availability alone on championship week, there's more requirements that you have to speak into a microphone, answer questions, and it only gets heightened from this point on. But I brought up that question because you never hear about it on the losing side. You didn't hear oh, dude, The Rock came in and talked to us, but we lost. You know, it's only on the teams that have the success. So if they're able to win these 2 weeks leading up to a Super Bowl, that's when you start to hear these stories and what it meant to these players as they got prepped for today's game.
Well, who gets to write the story? The victor. You don't. You're right. I don't care what the Chiefs did Super Bowl week last week. It didn't work, obviously. So I don't necessarily need to hear that story.
I know, but both these teams are sitting at, well, New England has 16 wins now. The Broncos have 15. You can't argue that they haven't had magical seasons. And one of them is going to come to an end today.
Not so fast, my friend.
You don't think it was special for New England?
No, sir, not at all. I went, shout outs to Mommy. We got to breaking down the schedule this week, right? I went back and looked at who the Patriots have played. They have not played a playoff team in weeks. And to couple that, they haven't had but one game where they actually played a team that made the playoffs during the regular season. They're food.
Really?
Food.
I'll go back to this. I get your point. It's well taken. They did beat Buffalo, which is probably their most impressive win.
That's the only one.
On the road this year, right? I mean,
Yes,
and
sir.
that matters because they're coming to Denver today. But they weren't just kind of winning either. They
blew them out.
They were beating people up, pretty heavily. So, and if you go back to just even bring up Peyton Manning again, any game is hard to win in the NFL. To win 16 of them in one season, regardless of the schedule, there's something's falling your way because it doesn't happen often, which is I go back to the point, you never know when you're going to have this opportunity again. And I'm speaking for Pat Surtain, Alex Singleton, Quinn Miners. Cortland Sutton hasn't had this opportunity before, and it's the first time. You don't know when you're going to get back.
Yeah, and those guys have stuck it out. Sutton, Bowles, guys that have been through thick and thin. Alex Singleton, we don't talk about the journey of his career. Canadian Football League, obviously beating what he beat this year. There's so many great stories that are tied into not only the Broncos, but the Patriots as well. This is just another chapter in a really, really good book. And there's variables that go into it. One of the variables today is going to be the weather. And on the other side, we're going to talk to Chris Bianchi about what the weather is going to look like and what kind of factor it's going to be for the matchup between the Patriots and Broncos today. We'll do that when we come back.
Hey Broncos country, it's Terrell Davis here. It's a new year. It's time to work on a new you.
At Fitness Gallery, we have deals everywhere, up to 50% off. We have the nation's lowest prices on the best equipment money can buy. We carry true treadmills. They are the smoothest, quietest, and best warranted treadmills ever built for the home. Work out on your schedule on the equipment you choose from the safety and comfort of your own home. Visit one of Fitness Gallery's 7 convenient locations from Colorado Springs to Fort Collins. We have you covered.
2026 is shaping up to be an amazing year to buy a home in Colorado. If you've been dreaming about getting into your first place, upgrading for more space, or downsizing for a simpler lifestyle, now is a smart time to start planning. And the first step is easy. Get pre-approved. With American Financing, you can get it done in 24 hours or less, so you'll know exactly what you can afford before you start shopping. Rates have been dropping, home prices are steady, and more homes are hitting the market. You could score the right home at the right price and lock in a monthly payment that fits your budget without stretching yourself thin. And unlike renting, every payment you make goes toward your future, not your landlord's. And here's a misconception we'd love to bust. You do not need 20% down. Many buyers purchase with as little as 3% down. So if home ownership is on your 2026 goals list, let's make it happen. Call American Financing, Colorado's home for home loans at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
We're hiring at Don's Garage Doors. No experience? No problem. We provide full training, a brand new van, top-of-the-line tools, a gas card, and steady jobs with weekly pay. This isn't just a job. It's a career with real growth, great pay, and job security. Our team members go from training to 6 figures, and we're ready to help you do the same. Don't wait. Apply now at donsgaragedoors.com.
Have you seen the Christmas movie It's a Wonderful Life? The one with Jimmy Stewart, who plays the part of a hometown banker named George Bailey. A banker who genuinely cared about others. Even though it was made nearly 80 years ago, The core values in It's a Wonderful Life have never been more important in today's world. This is Glenn Jamarot. I'm president of the Alpine Bank family, member FDIC. George Bailey believed in being fair, showing respect, and genuinely caring about others. Fairness, compassion, and respect are at the very core of Alpine Bank. It's who we are. Caring bankers do exist. Alpine Bank, committed to Colorado, and you.
Done right kitchens, baths, finished basements, windows, and doors. Brand new year? How about a brand new room or rooms? Hi, Dan Cicchini here. All new kitchen layout and a beautiful new look with a professionally designed total kitchen replacement or possibly a renew of that outdated kitchen with our own unique cabinet refacing and new countertops. Oh yeah. And Todd, what about those other special spaces?
Well, Dad, leaky, moldy, ugly bathrooms? Oh boy, not a space to feel good about. We can help with turnkey shower replacement and more if the entire room needs updated. And is your dingy basement just asking to become an awesome lower level? We'll handle it all start to finish.
All right, Todd. With great pricing options available and bank financing, our schedule's filling fast. Since 1985, kitchens, baths, counters, and floors, finished basements, windows, and doors. Done right. You have our word, we'll treat you right at Done Right. Come see us at drhi.com. Thanks.
Getting you set for today's game. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents Denver Gameday. Powered by CommonSpirit Health, official healthcare partner of the Denver.
In this game today, and to help us with the weather, we've got the senior weatherman over at 9 News, Mr. Chris Bianchi, on the line. Chris, welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. How's it going? How we feeling about the game?
What up, CB?
Man, a little anxious over here. How you feeling?
Oh, Shello, what's up, man?
Hey, dude, I assume you're going to be in attendance. Is that correct?
I'm actually in the middle of putting on every layer that I own right now to be in the crowd. Yeah. I wouldn't miss this for a million years. My best friend flew in from Idaho. We're going together. We're going tailgating. I'm feeling good. Let's go Broncos.
That's the second time we've talked about Idaho this morning, and it feels weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Christian Ellis, a linebacker for the New England Patriots, played at Idaho. And
he's a Vandal.
Yeah, he's a Vandal. So that's probably the last time I want to talk about Idaho throughout the course of this show. Chris, tell us, hey man, give us some tips for staying warm today?
So, a couple things. This is really important if you're listening at the tailgate right now. It probably feels warm right now. You're probably going like, oh, this isn't too bad. It is going to get colder as the game wears on. So that's number one. Dress warmer than what you think you need right now. Don't go outside right now and go like, oh, it's kind of cold, I'm ready. Wear more than what you think right now, because what's going to happen is the second front moves through this afternoon. So kickoff temperatures might be in the low 20s, which, it's not Cancun, but it's going to be feeling probably okay, especially if you're in the sun. And then that second front will move through. That'll bring us clouds, some wind, a biting wind, a north wind. It's going to drop those temperatures another 10 degrees and bring us that chance for snow in the second half. So that would be the most important thing I would say. Again, don't just base it off what you're feeling right now. It's going to get worse.
So you brought up a chance of snow. Give me a percentage on it. Like, listen, I'm not opposed to it. I love football in the elements. Of course, I say that, and I'll be sitting warm on my couch watching this game as you're out there cheering on our Broncos, Chris. But percentage-wise, do we see some of the white stuff in the second half of this game?
Yeah, I would put it about 60, 70%. Pretty good chance that we get some snow in the second half. It'll be towards the end of the game. It depends on the exact timing. The front's moving through Cheyenne, Wyoming right now. Once that front moves through, you'll notice it, and those clouds will really kick up, and we'll probably have some snow. And it'll stick pretty quickly. I suspect it's mostly going to be for vibes. We might see at the very end, especially if the thing goes to overtime or something like that. Then we would start seeing, the yard lines getting cut out and stuff like that. And of course, guys, the last time the Broncos had a home game where it snowed in the second half, C.J. Anderson to the left in overtime against the Patriots, right?
See, look at the coincidence against the same opponent 10 years ago. It's on January 25th, the anniversary of the Broncos' first Super Bowl championship. But to your point, Chris, I'm looking out the window right now. It looks, we know it's chilly out, but it looks gorgeous. So just the thrills of being a weatherman in Colorado, huh?
Exactly. And, again, to be clear, as your, fellow meteorologist, James Merrillat knows, it's going to be 27 degrees at kickoff, but, it's going to get much colder during the game. That's, the big thing I want to get across to people is that, especially if you're going to the game, if you're tailgating, you're spending any time outside. I am currently outside right now, and it feels pretty okay. I'm kind of testing my outfit out a little bit, but I'm also packing an extra 2 jackets.
So classic Colorado, don't let the smooth taste fool you. It's going to end up being a little bit cold, especially as the sun starts to set. All right, let's get into the game because I know you're a Broncos fan. Last time we talked to you, they were going out to the DMV area to take on the Commanders. They squeak out that game. That game had a little bit of weather in it as well. But tell me how you're feeling about the matchup. Obviously, there's a curveball thrown with the quarterback situation, but this is yet another golden opportunity for the Broncos to continue being one of the flagship franchises in the NFL and go to Super Bowl 60. How you feeling about this matchup today, Chris?
I've been feeling good most of the week. The only big point of concern I got, well, obviously we don't know what we're getting with Jarrett Stidham. We can all speculate. It seems like he's a good backup. Feel good on that end. Or feel good aside from that, obviously. But I don't know what you guys think about this. The only concern point is it feels like the hype train has started to get a little, maybe not out of hand, but it's just I'm part of it. I believe in City. I think that City's going to get it done. But it just feels like people nationally starting to lock on. I love it when the Broncos are dogs at home and nobody believes in them. That's when it seems like they play their best. And it feels like people are starting to believe in them a little bit more. And I don't know. I want the Broncos to be underdogs, and I feel like they thrive in that role. What do you guys think?
Listen, man, and we've had the conversation all morning long, Chris, is at some point or another, if you're a fan of a team, you're going to kind of argue with yourself whether or not there's a legitimate shot here. You're trying to convince yourself that this is the case. But when you really break it down, listen, you're talking about 60 minutes for a chance to compete for a Lombardi trophy. And you're not playing a world beater or a traditional or a perennial winner. We know that the Patriots have had a phenomenal year, but you're not playing Lamar Jackson. You're not playing Patrick Mahomes, guys that have the experience in these moments. You're also playing an unknown in New England because this group under Vrabel's leadership hasn't been to this point yet.
Yeah, Chris, for me, I would say, yes, I am talking myself into it. But it's not that I'm believing in the Broncos more. I'm believing in the Patriots less. And the more we talk through it, they've played what is this? This is 2 playoff teams that they played in that stretch run of almost 3 months where they didn't lose a game. C.J. Stroud basically teed the game up for him last week by throwing 4 interceptions. So I just think they've had a lot of help along the way that has kind of made this thing look better than it actually is. And the teams are probably more evenly matched than what we might have considered 5 or 6 days ago.
All right, I hear that. I'm on board with all that. I don't think the Patriots are. I don't know. I don't think they're that good. I hate to say that. I think that they've beaten Cherry Creek High School the last few weeks, and let's show them who the Denver Broncos are today, right?
Yeah, Cherry Creek's not bad now.
Yeah. True. Hey, yeah, that is not a swipe at Cherry Creek High School. Go Bruins, but that is, I think, the Patriots have masked not being a super good team.
Okay. All right. Well, give me your keys to victory. I think obviously we know good quarterback play. That's the low-hanging fruit. We can obviously select that one, and everybody would be right about that. But what are some X factors, some things that we might not have considered when it comes to the Broncos having success today?
I got 4. 1, red zone, convert. You've got to convert when they're the red zone. They haven't done a good job of that last few weeks. I know you guys have talked about that. Number 2, obviously get after Drake May. They have to. Number 3 is win the turnover battle by 2 or 3. I don't think they need to get 5 like they did last week, but they can get 2 or 3 and turn them into points, especially 7. That is the other key. And then I would say, finally, I think that they need to get off to a quick start. I don't think that if this feels like a tough game. If they're down 17-6 or something like that, that feels like a tall order for a quarterback making, his first NFL passes in 2+ years. I think they need to get off to that quick start, ride the momentum at home. The crowd will get into it. That's my thought.
All right, Chris, a couple things before we let you go. Any last-minute pointers? Are you saying, yep, pack the hand warmers. If you have a heated vest, put that on. Beanies, gloves, all that stuff. And then after that, just give me your prediction, final score, what you think is going to go down today at Empower Field.
Okay, 2 things. I'll say 1, if you're hemming and hawing, like, should I pack this or not, pack it, because you'll probably need it. Being outside for that long of a time period, and it's going to get notably colder through the game, pack it. So, yes, heated vest, yes, hand warmers. Another thing I always find helpful, I've been to a few of these games where it's been like this. I was at the game that shall not be named, the Ravens Black Sling game. Double socks. That's another thing. Double socks will get you through it. So that would be one tip. Game itself, I'm very confident in the Broncos. Honestly, I don't know why. I've had that feeling most of the week. I think it's Broncos 24, Patriots 13.
Gotta love it. There he is. Chris Bianchi, your weatherman from 9 News. Chris, we appreciate it. And while you're struggling to stay warm, we'll be warm watching the game. And hopefully we're all going to be warm because the Broncos have a victory today.
Exactly. Running around, jumping around, screaming for your Broncos, that's also a warming action and activity. So let's go Broncos.
There he goes. Chris, we appreciate it, my man.
Thanks, guys. Talk soon.
Chris Bianchi from 9 News. We're going to get to a quick break, but we have another guest on the other side. Some people love him. Some people, I don't say hate, dislike him, but we call him the fire starter. James Marilat from Denver Sports will join us, and we'll do that next.
How will Sean Payton scheme things up for Jarrett Stidham? Will the Broncos defense find ways to generate more turnovers? We'll react to it all in the Fan Football Postgame Show, live on game day starting at the 2-minute warning. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Inc. card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers,
we've been overindulging a little more than usual over the holidays. But now, we are starting the new year off on a healthier note by taking Active Liver supplements from New Nordic every day.
Active Liver contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract, all natural ingredients that help protect the liver so that it can protect you from toxins. It's like giving my body a daily detox. I've never felt better, and my energy is through the roof.
And my doctor is already impressed with how much better my numbers are looking. So if better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today and start the year off knowing you're giving your liver some well-deserved relief.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or pick some up today at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery. Are now available at Wegmans. New year, new you, new Nordic.
When it's cold, the last thing you want is your home's heater to quit on you. At 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, our team of comfort specialists take the frustration out of the equation. From simple repairs to more complex fixes, we'll get you warm and comfortable quickly. Just call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehouраir.com. Don't forget, we're
Always on time, or you don't pay it time. Always on time, or you don't pay it time.
independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Happy New Year, Susan. I really appreciate you picking up the bill for lunch.
I'm happy to. One of my New Year's resolutions is being better with money. So I've started using Upside, the free app that pays you cash back for buying gas.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I earn cash back just for buying the gas I was already buying.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make $200 to $300 this year.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play and start earning cash back on everyday gas purchases. Use promo code RIDER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents per gallon on your next fill up. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code RIDER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code RIDER. Code RIDER.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Hey guys, your boy Mark Schlereth here for my friends at Xfinity. Now, when Team USA is on, you can almost see the moment when the kid starts believing, hey, I could be next. Now, while Xfinity can't guarantee that, they can guarantee something super important. That's your internet price won't change for 5 years. No contracts, no commitments. So, while your kid's ordering online or streaming highlight reels, your Xfinity internet price won't change. It will not budge. And who knows, by the time the next Winter Olympics roll around, your kid could be getting fitted for their very own Team USA uniform. And guess what? You'll be paying the same price for reliable Wi-Fi. And there's even more to enjoy with Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 10 years. That's a $10.99 value each month. Xfinity, imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto-paid with stored bank account. Taxes, fees, extras. Actual speeds may vary.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. Getting you set for today's game. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents Denver Gameday. Powered by CommonSpirit Health, official healthcare partner of the Denver Broncos.
Check. You got us. Welcome back in. Denver Sports Station 104.3 The Fan. Hey, man. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Is this thing on?
Yeah.
Are the Broncos ready? Hey, Jared Stidham, mic check. You ready? Let's get ready to go. Coming back in.
Well, you hear that music can only mean one thing.
That's only one thing. It's Denver Game Day, powered by CommonSpirit. Denver Sports Station 104.3 The Fan. Our digital content manager and fire starter.
Yes.
James Marilat. James, you good?
We might be losing James at this present second.
Okay.
He started a fire, and then I'm trying to put it out over here behind the glass.
All right. Well, we'll let you set the board on fire while we get this thing teed up for you guys. It's obviously a championship weekend here in the Mile High City. The Broncos hosting the New England Patriots. There's a lot going on in this matchup, including young quarterbacks. Do you feel cheated a little bit that we've got another playoff matchup with the Patriots, but the quarterback element has been kind of
altered?
Yeah,
I think, and we talked about it earlier, I think we thought this was maybe going to be the first of many that you'd see 10 versus 10 in May versus Knicks. And unfortunately, we're not going to see that. I do feel a little cheated, and I still feel awful for Bo Nix because I think he did everything possible this year. I think he played phenomenal last week just to get out of Empower Field with a victory against a Josh Allen-led Buffalo Bills team. For him not to be able to participate, that's the life of a football player and a football coach, though, huh? Sean Payton had a few minutes to internalize that news, realize what was being told to him, and then have to completely shift gears and get a team ready to compete for a Super Bowl opportunity with another guy.
Oh, man, the hits just keep on coming. And it was a Broncos team that throughout the course of the year, like you've had moments where you didn't feel healthy at all. When Patrick Surtain went down and then Dre Greenlaw in and out of the lineup, you've had some shuffling, obviously, at the running back position with J.K. Dobbins. But for the most part, you've stayed healthy and you've managed to maintain throughout that. And this is just another challenge in that same vein. Okay? You overcame Patrick Surtain going down. All right. Let's see how you do without Bo Nix. Let's see how you'll do without Ben Power. It's just been one hit. Let's see how you'll do without Wattenberg. It sounds like Wattenberg's going to play today. So it's just been a rotation, even though they've been okay, but they've had to maintain through some of that. And as I say that, the fire starter's on the line. James Marilat, digital content manager over at Denver Sports. How you doing this morning?
Morning, fellas. How are you?
What up, James? Are you stoked?
Happy AFC title game day.
Same to you. Hey, James, look, I know you are like even Steven, even keel. I can admit to being nervous. How you feeling?
I'm excited about today. I mean, it's kind of a no-lose situation, really, right? Like, if they win, we're all fired up, and they pulled it off, and it's an upset, and, people around the country will be shocked. If they lose, it's like, yeah, but they didn't have Bo. What did you expect? So they're kind of in a no-lose situation. Not that I'd be fine with the loss. I'd be disappointed, and it'd be a tough way to have, the last 5 months of football and entertainment come to an end. But I'm kind of feeling like I'm playing on house money today, fellas. That's how I'm looking at it.
James, we've talked about it today, and I kind of compared it to the 5 stages of grief. The being a Bronco fan over the last 7 days, you've kind of you felt dejected. You felt like it was lost at one point. Then you've convinced yourself they can compete, and sometimes we'll be like, oh, I think I probably put too much into that. But when you really break down the matchup, there is a legitimate opportunity for them to go out and win this game today. And I don't think the more and more I look at it, even if they end up winning, you said upset, I wouldn't say it's an upset. If they go out and play the way they've supposed to play, and I know Jarrett Stidham, that's a big question. I'm not trying to diminish the loss of Bo Nix because I think that's massive. But this team has won all kinds of games this year in all different fashions. So I'm comfortable with the prospects of it actually working out on the victorious side.
I am too. I don't think it's, it would be a crazy upset. I don't think it's outside the realm of possibilities. I think if they were playing in New England, it would be a totally different story. But at home, at Empower Field, you get 76,000 people going nuts. Hopefully that helps the defense make a couple of plays, right, where the offense can't get out of the huddle quick enough, or they can't have the snap count, and Nick Benito gets off the line quicker and gets a sack, that kind of stuff. Plus, look, I think Drake May is a really, really good player, but he hasn't seen a situation like this in terms of both what's at stake and the environment. So, I think the Patriots are a little bit like the Broncos last year, where it's like, yeah, they got this really good record. They got into the playoffs, but they really haven't had any impressive wins. They won early in the season at Buffalo, and then that's about it. So I heard you guys rattling off the schedule earlier in the show, and it was a lot of Atlanta and Cleveland and teams like that. So I don't think it's outside the realm of possibilities that the Broncos win today at all. Now, 2 weeks from today, playing the Rams or the Seahawks, that's a totally different story. But for today, let's just take them one at a time here. I think they got a really good shot.
Let's keep the main thing the main thing.
That's right.
James, okay, I like what you said about the matchup and then the environment, because the matchups have been tough. Let's face it. You played a Chargers defense that has Khalil Mack on it. That's going to be a good defense, and obviously their defensive coordinator getting a job is a testament to that. And then the following week you go up against DeMeco Ryans' defense when you've got Danielle Hunter, and then you've got Will Anderson and a bunch of other savages on the back end of that. So he's faced 2 really tough defenses in the playoffs. And you could argue that he hasn't necessarily played that well. But I think the one curveball in the conversation is now he's going up a really good defense on the road. Tell me how much of a factor you think that'll be.
Yeah, I think it's enormous. I think that you look back at that Charger game, it was a field goal battle until late. I think there was one touchdown, I think it was in the fourth quarter. And then, last week Houston C.J. Stroud just gave them so many short fields and so many golden opportunities that it made life easier than it should have been against that Texans defense. But I think the crowd, and look, it does drive me a little crazy that Sean Payton feels like, we need to be told when to cheer. It's like, dude, this ain't New Orleans. It's our 8th home AFC title game. We got it. We know what to do. But I do think he's right in the standpoint of the crowd can make a difference. And it's all those things, right? You can interfere with the execution of the offense, whether it's, again, they can't quite get out of the huddle fast enough, end up having to take timeouts, get delay of games. The tackles don't hear the snap count, and it's Nick Bonito and Jonathan Cooper able to get off the ball a little quicker and get to the quarterback. It's those kind of things, and it's a momentum deal, right? Like, it just starts to snowball. And I was on with Dan Jacobs yesterday, and we were talking about the Avs, and it was like, hey, it's all about seeding, right? Game 7 last year down in Dallas, if that game's at Ball Arena, the third period doesn't go that way, because once it started snowballing, you couldn't stop it. The crowd went nuts, and it just took on a momentum of its own. That's the kind of thing I think we can see today, too. So I expect the crowd to be nuts. I expect them to be fired up. We waited 10 years to get back to this situation. So I think they can have an impact on it. NFL games tend to come down to 4 or 5 plays, and I think the crowd can have an impact on 4 or 5 plays and help the defense out.
It's Denver Gameday, powered by CommonSpirit Health. That voice you hear is the editor. And are you chief? Are you Grand Poobah of all things Denver sports, James?
Well, I don't know. They keep changing these things. It's, we're at denversports.com. We're just we're a team over there. We don't worry too much about titles.
You can get all your coverage there, and James leads up that crew. Listen, James, Kyle and I have had this discussion on what it will mean for the Broncos to be successful today. And I asked him the question earlier, how many carries do your running backs have to have for them to be on the positive side of the game today? And he said 20, at least 20, right, Kyle? That's what your assertion is?
Affirmative.
And I would love that to be the case. I think if you get to that number, it probably means you have a lead late, because I just don't think Sean Payton's going to completely change. If you go back and look at Jarrett Stidham's, although it's a minimal sample size of what he's done, he's thrown north of 30 passes in every game he's played, I think, with the exception of one. So I assume they're still going to throw the rock around. What would you say has to happen? Because obviously when you go to a backup quarterback, we automatically think, oh, the running game will become that much more prevalent. Not here, I don't think.
No, since Sean Payton has been here, people have been saying, they're going to be run heavy, even his first year with Russ. And I'm like, no, they're not. I mean, find me an offensive-minded coach outside of Kyle Shanahan who wants to run the ball first, right? Like, they just don't. They don't spend 100 hours in the office and at the whiteboard drawing up running plays. They don't show off how smart they are with their running plays. So I think Sean Payton's going to want to show the world that, hey, look at what a great coach I am. I'm a quarterback whisperer. I got this backup quarterback to come out here and play at a high level and win this huge game on the biggest stage. I think they're going to throw the ball a lot. And I don't know that it's necessarily a bad idea, because I think the Patriots are going to come out and say, hey, let's force this team to throw it. They're going to try and take away the run, which isn't that hard of an assignment given how the Broncos run the football. And you can't put Jarrett Stidham in 2nd and 9, 3rd and 8 all day. You just can't. So I think being too conservative would be a mistake. So, yeah, man, I'm with you. I think they're going to throw the ball all over. I don't have a ton of worries about Jarrett Stidham in the passing game. I do think the biggest loss with Bo Nix is the Broncos also lost their best weapon on the ground. He was their best. I mean, not only did he have more carries than all the running backs, but he was more effective against Buffalo, and it feels like it's been that way for most of the year. So how do they make that up? But it's not going to be, ground Chuck here with Chuck Knox in the 1970s Rams. I think it's going to be, the ball is going to be in the air, and I think they're going to let Jarrett Stidham try and show what he can do and go out and win the game.
All right, James, you get 2 choices here, and we're talking about a person that you would select to develop your quarterback. You talked about Sean Payton and his confidence in doing that, and honestly, you have to tip your hat a little bit to what
James,
he's done.
he's better at it than most.
With Bo Nix, right? Josh McDaniels on the other side is pretty damn good, too.
Yeah, I just, as a lifelong Broncos fan, I can't pick Josh McDaniels in any race. So I would take Sean in that one, but they're both very good at it. I mean, what Josh McDaniels has done with Drake May has been every bit as good as what Sean Payton has done with Bo Nix. So they're both really good at it. It's just another example of how so much of it is the situation you go to, right? Like, if you drafted third, you end up going to the Jets. Feels like they've drafted a ton of quarterbacks at number 3, and somehow you turn into a bust. You go to the Patriots, you get, Josh McDaniels there to develop you, and all of a sudden you turn into a guy that's an MVP candidate. So, the situation matters. They're both really good, but on any day, I'm not taking Josh McDaniels over anyone. I'm certainly not doing it when we're playing he and the Patriots in the AFC title game.
Okay. All right. There are 3 elements in football that impact winning. And this, put your coach's hat on for me. Tackling, turnovers, and explosive plays. Explosive plays on both sides of the ball, by the way. Kind of give me your assessment of the Broncos in those 3 categories: tackling, turnovers, and explosive plays.
Well, if you want to just look at last week, they were good on all those fronts. They have not been very good on all those fronts throughout the year. I think especially late in the season, this defense, much like a year ago, sort of fell apart after Thanksgiving. They weren't particularly good. They got the break of playing a third-string quarterback on Christmas night and a backup in the finale, but they weren't very good from that Washington game on, and a lot of that was tackling, right? We all remember the Jacksonville game. That was a mess with Riley Moss's inability to make tackles out on the edge, and it wasn't just him. So I think they're a little above average, but not great as a tackling defense. I think from forcing turnovers, 5 last week, I think, is an aberration. They forced 14 all season long, which is a strange number. Turnovers are a little fluky, right? It's an oblong-shaped ball. It bounces weird, but they're not great at that. And explosive plays, they do have that ability, and I think they have that in all 3 phases. I think you need to see a Marvin Mims big punt return, kick return, something on special teams to help his offense out. I think the defense needs to make some explosive plays and give Jarrett Stidham a short field. And I think offensively, they've got a couple of guys, and Mims is the guy. They kind of fell into it last week because of all the injuries, and he's been the guy that, year after year, he's, the 90-some yard touchdown against the Browns, he had the go-ahead touchdown last week, the big play in overtime. Like, he's a big play guy. You got to rely on him more. So I don't think they're long-winded answer, Kyle, but I don't think they're great in all 3 phases. I'd say they're slightly above average in all 3.
James, let me ask you this: what would you say is the strength of the Patriots? If I just said, what are they known for this year?
Boy, that's a really good question. I think the strength of that team is they're balanced. That sounds very boring, and it is, but it's Mike Vrabel's teams have always they were boring in Tennessee. Like, that was been one of the most just mind-numbing teams to be a fan of. But they go out and they're balanced, right? They don't make mistakes, they don't beat themselves, and they keep you guessing because you don't know if it's going to be run or pass. They're not a team that's in 2nd and 14 a lot.
Yeah.
They can run the ball and get a good down and distance, and Drake May can make plays. So, yeah, I think that's a boring answer, Cello. I think that's the way I would describe them. And then you can look at it, too, of good defense, good offense, right? It's not tilted in any direction, and that makes them really tough to play.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I was asking the question, because I don't know what we're really looking at as far as them. Are we underrating them defensively? They've looked dominant in their 2 postseason games, but you're talking about a battered and bruised Chargers team that had to fly across the country to play that game, and then you had a game where C.J. Stroud was terrible, and that's putting it nicely. I don't know if I'm overlooking that. Am I, or is it like, hey, the Broncos will take account for that, but the calling card for this team in Denver is their defense, and they got to get the type of play that we saw earlier in the year for them to win today.
Yeah, the strength of the Broncos is supposed to be their defense. So I don't think that's been the case really down the stretch, but it needs to be today. I don't think it's realistic to think you're going to go out and win 33-30 today. And I don't think the defense – look, they forced 5 turnovers, and that's great. But if Josh Allen had just played okay, they probably put 50 on the Broncos. They never punted the ball. So that last week was just another struggle defensively, at least in terms of getting the opposition off the field and slowing them down. So, yeah, Broncos defense needs to, rediscover their form today. I think we're probably overlooking the Patriots a little bit, but Cello, they came into the year. They're not a team that's been on national TV a ton, right? Like, watching the last 2 playoff games feels like the most of the Patriots we've seen all season long because nobody expected them to be this kind of a team. So I think last week, though, with C.J. Stroud, it's an example of that momentum I was talking about where the crowd, the elements, the defense is coming after him, and he just looked overwhelmed. I think you play that game in Houston, it's a totally different story. I don't think the Broncos are going to rattle Drake May to that extent today, but I think that's the effect you're going for of, hey, come after the guy, let the crowd get whipped up into a frenzy, and see if you can just get the snowball rolling down the right side of the hill.
We always talk about a quarterback's best friend, all right? Good defense, running game, and tight end. And those are things that the Broncos have to consider, especially on the defensive side of the ball, because they do have something to prove, especially with the way that they've played over the last month. Hunter Henry, how are they going to deal with him in the middle of the field? And even Josh McDaniels, the way he schemes him up. Ramondre Stevenson is a bruiser of a back, and he's had 7 receptions in the 2 playoff games that they've played, so he's a factor in the passing game as well. So there's a lot to be considered when you're matching up against the Patriots offense, even though they haven't played well over the last 2 games. For you, James, when you look at the Broncos defense and you think about Vance Joseph, how much pressure is on him, knowing that they can create those explosive plays that you're talking about or neutralize those explosive plays for the Patriots? And there's a huge opportunity for the Broncos to get one of those 4 or 5 plays that could tilt the game in their favor.
Yeah, and I mean, you've heard a lot of talk nationally this week about this Broncos defense, and I heard some folks saying, hey, this game's going to be like the Super Bowl was last year for the Eagles against the Chiefs. And it's like, man, I don't know what defense you've been watching the last 6 weeks, but I haven't seen that group. But if they can get some pressure in from the interior, if Zach Allen can all of a sudden rediscover his earlier season form, I mean, he's a second-team All-Pro for a reason, but most of it is for what he did before Thanksgiving. You know, Jonathan Franklin Myers and DJ Jones, like I think that's a key is they got to dominate in the middle of the defensive line. And then you mentioned, you know, the tight end position. I think that continues to be a concern, and their ability to cover not only tight ends but backs. And you know, it's Alex Singleton made the biggest play of the game last week. They fall behind 14-3, which they were fixing to before he forced the fumble. I think that's a totally different ball game. But I still think Alex Singleton, while he's a great story, tough as nails, we all love to root for him. I do still think he's a liability in coverage. So I think getting creative and figuring out, all right, are you bringing P.J. Lockdown into the box? Are you moving Pat Surtain around? How are you going to defend tight ends and running backs? I think that's going to be interesting because middle linebacker in coverage remains an issue for this Broncos defense.
James, you said that in a really nice, succinct way, and I appreciate it, but I'm charged up about it. I'm like, there is blood in the water. Cease talked about it all week. Will Campbell gave up 2 sacks last week. Moses at right tackle also gave up 2 sacks last week. Drake May fumbled the ball 4 times and threw 1 interception, lost 2 of those fumbles. Like, if you're Vance Joseph, you got to be licking your chops. I mean, like, I didn't mean to take the show from, like, 6 to 10, but, like, come on, man. Like, we got to get after these guys, right?
No doubt, no doubt. And I think what you need to avoid is what the Broncos defense did in 2005 in the AFC title game, where they just sat back and, you know, they didn't come after a young Ben Roethlisberger and it blew up in their face. And, you know, once Big Ben got comfortable and once Champ Bailey dropped an interception that should have been a pick 6, all of a sudden the game turned. I think you got to come after Drake May. I think you got to try and rattle him. And look, if a second-year quarterback on the road in the AFC title game can stand in there with that kind of pressure coming at him and make good throws and make plays, you tip your cap to him. But, man, if you're going to walk out of the building today with not going to the Super Bowl, don't do it being passive. Don't do it being conservative. Don't do it sitting back and being like, okay, let's just not make mistakes. Come after him and dare Drake May to try to beat you in the face of that. So, yeah, I'm with you. I think it should be, you know, an all-out all-out aggression in terms of how the defense is playing. I certainly hope we don't see, you know, passive sit back and just play bend but don't break. That would be the wrong approach, in my opinion.
We had no idea who Cedric Wilson was when he walked in here that day, and he hasn't done a damn thing since. But he had his way with Champ Bailey that day. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. And I think to your guys' point, having the guy lead the team who is, and Sean Payton, and his, you can say, ego or just personality, that is going to be a directive that he passes along to all of his coaching staff. If we lose, we're going out with, guns a-blazing. We're not going to have that same approach. And I was at that AFC Championship game where they lost to Big Ben. I don't want to have that feeling again. James, are you going to the game?
I am not today, but I was at that one, and I'm with you. That was just a kick in the teeth. So I'm hoping today is not the same kind of feeling. Look, normally speaking, when the Broncos play at home in the playoffs, I mean they're 15-5, but I can tell you the 5 losses off the top of my head. So that's how they sting, and that's how they stick with you. So I don't think today is going to be one of them, though. I think they walk out of the building 16-5 at home in the playoffs all time.
So you gave us who you think's going to win. Give me a prediction on the score, and then if you are right and they do get it done today, who are they playing in Santa Clara?
I believe they're going to win 20-17 today. I think Jarrett Stidham makes just enough plays to get him over the hump, and I think they will be playing. And maybe I'm falling into what's the mentalist guy? What's his name? The magician guy that is able to predict things. Beginning of the year, he picked the Broncos and the Rams. So I'm going with whatever that guy's name is, the mentalist.
Oh, okay.
I'm going Broncos.
I thought you were
Rams.
talking about a TV show. I was like, I don't remember who that was.
No, he's like the magician, and he was on Hard Knocks, and he was, doing stuff, and that's who he picked in the Super Bowl back in, training camp. Broncos Rams. So since that's a possibility, I'm sticking with it.
He was on 60 Minutes too. So in other words, he had the NFL script. He had the first peek at it.
Exactly. He knew.
All right, so you like the Broncos and the Rams. Listen, I hope that's the case. I don't know if I subscribe to the mentalist part of it, but I'm on board with the Broncos going to, what would this be, the 9th Super Bowl for the Broncos?
It would be the 9th Super Bowl. Now, can you guys tell me who they've lost to in the AFC title game?
Steelers is a
Steelers. That's one. They lost to the Buffalo Bills in a 10-7 game that Elway got knocked out and Kubiak almost brought him back.
That's correct. The only touchdown scored by the Bills that day in Buffalo was a pick six on a screen pass.
Yeah, not good.
I almost got kicked out of my dorm that day because when Steve Sewell fumbled late when they were trying to go win, it was the remote up against the wall and into a million pieces. That's the only time I got written up by the RA.
That wasn't because of the Broncos game. Be honest, James.
So it's Steelers, Bills.
When the Broncos get to this point, they fare well.
Who are the other two?
I think that's going to. In the AFC title games, that's their losses. They lost at home to the Steelers in '84 in the divisional round. They lost to the Jags in the divisional round. But yeah, when they get to this point, when they get to the AFC title game, they normally take care of business.
Gotcha.
All right, James. Well, we appreciate you coming on, hanging out with us. We appreciate the good, wise counsel as well. And be careful with the remote today, okay?
Oz Perlman.
You got it.
That's your dude.
Let's do it.
Oz Perlman.
All right, thanks, James. We'll talk to you soon.
That's the guy.
Enjoy,
Oz the
brother.
mentalist. That's the guy.
Oz is his name?
Yes.
Oh, man. We could have just kept calling him the mentalist and it would have sounded better. All right. Thanks, James. Have a great day. Let's go Broncos.
All right, fellas. Go Broncos.
See you, bud.
Oz?
Oz. Well, the Wizard of Oz.
You name your kid Oz, and he has to do a job like that.
Yes, yeah.
Like, that dude couldn't work at Target.
No.
Oz to aisle 8?
Yeah.
Nah, hell no.
It's kind of like the baby Gronk thing. Like,
He's got to be a football player.
If he is not Gronk-esque when he comes up through high school, and because he's got a lot of offers, right? So, which is fine. I find that kind of odd as well. But anyway, that's here for another day.
Yeah, I mean, like naming your kid Cash. Like,
money.
Your dude's here broke? What?
Straight cash. Homie.
Straight cash. I mean, all right, coming up on we got Zach Biden?
Yes.
Coming up on the other side. The treats just keep on coming.
Support St. Jude Children's Research Hospital today for a chance to win 2 tickets to Super Bowl 60. One lucky winner and a guest can win 2 tickets to the big game, attend the exclusive Legends for Charity event, and a meet and greet with ESPN's Kirk Herbstreit, plus a 4-night hotel stay, round-trip airfare, and ride-and-share credit. Go to propeller.la/Super Bowl LX for more details. That's propeller.la/Super Bowl LX. No donation required for entry. See official rules on propeller.la for details. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Door Service. Most repairs are simple, but if left untreated, they can turn into costly repairs. Your garage door works hard every day, and a little maintenance goes a long way. We fix garage doors fast with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Over 90,000 five-star reviews don't happen by accident. They happen by putting people first. Fixing your garage doors is what we do. From repairs to upgrades, call Don's Garage Door Service today.
HelloFresh helps you cook fresh, delicious, wholesome meals every weeknight for a healthier you in each bite. This is more than just dinner. It's feel-good made from scratch. HelloFresh. Nothing hits like home cooking. Try now at HelloFresh.com.
Hi, Dan Cicchini with Dunright. Great pricing options and bank financing? You bet. Kitchens, baths, counters and floors, finished basements, windows and doors. Done right since 1985. You have our word, we'll treat you right at Done Right. Visit drhi.com. Thanks.
Download to see if you qualify for Albert Instant Advance. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription is required for Instant Advance. Please see the Albert app or albert.com for subscription pricing. Subscriptions can be canceled at any time.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? You can get up to a $1,000 advance fast to pay for car repairs, bills, rent, groceries, whatever you need. Plus, Albert can help you find ways to save and give you a custom budget to actually grow your money.
Albert can get me up to $1,000?
Exactly. But they do more than get you up to $1,000. Albert is your financial assistant, helping you budget, save, and spotting you money in a pinch.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code PLAN to get up to $1,000 for your bills, rent, groceries, and more. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code PLAN to get up to $1,000. Use code PLAN to get up to $1,000.
Let's go! You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Get 5 quarts of Valvoline Full Synthetic Motor Oil, a Wix filter, and a $15 gift card after rebate at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Sniffles and sneezes got you down? GoodRx is here to help with big savings on commonly prescribed cold and flu meds. GoodRx is free and easy to use. GoodRx is accepted at all major pharmacies like CVS, Walmart, and Walgreens. Just search your prescription, find a coupon, then show your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx is not insurance, but it works whether you have insurance or not. If you do, GoodRx may beat your copay price. Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com to save today.
Mike Evans here for Copperhead Plumbing. Your home doesn't have to flood before you know there's a problem. With the Mow and Flow Smart Water Shutoff System, you can monitor your home's water usage in real time right from your phone. You'll get notified the moment a leak starts. Trust Copperhead Plumbing for professional installation. Ask about installing a Mow and Flow system today.
Copperhead Plumbing, built to last. Call us once, you'll forget the past.
Copperhead Plumbing. They plumb different. They plumb custom.
Peyton Manning here. Throughout my football career, staying healthy was a big priority, but bumps, bruises, and injuries were part of the game. And for me, it's not just the clinical excellence and expertise that sets a medical team apart. It's also the compassion, kindness, and empathy they show. At CommonSpirit Health, healing is quality care and human kindness. And my friends at CommonSpirit are teaming up with their partners to spread human kindness and create healthy communities. CommonSpirit Health. Hello, human kindness.
Getting you set for today's game. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents Denver Gameday. Powered by CommonSpirit Health, official healthcare partner of the Denver Broncos.
Well, all right. Star Child, citizens of the universe. Recording.
Welcome back into Denver Game Day, brought to you by CommonSpirit. I'm Kyle Reese, Marcello Romano. We're sitting in for Mike Rice. And then Sean Boyd is behind the glass, pushing all the right buttons. And we've got a guest, yet another host of The Drive, Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m., is Zach By. Joins the show this morning. Hey, Zach, you come into town like 10 years ago or so. You get an NBA championship, a Stanley Cup, and now the Broncos are going to the AFC Championship. Not a bad landing spot for you, huh?
No, not bad at all. Although the Broncos conversation has taken a delightful turn because for the longest time, and we got to remember, I mean, the Denver Broncos
did not have back-to-back losing seasons from the time that Mr. Bolin bought the team in the early 80s and until 2017-18. I mean, to never have back-to-back losing seasons is psychotic. And I pulled up in 2017, and I would have a lot of Broncos country say, hey, man, ever since you got here, the team has stunk, you know? And so while we had a couple parades on the Nuggets and Avalanche front, it's really, really cool to experience the fullness and the uniqueness of Broncos country when the Broncos are nearing the peak of – I don't think they're at the peak of their powers. I think that's coming soon in the years to immediately follow this one. But this is really special. It's been just such an incredible ride to talk about this team 4 hours a day with former Bronco running back Philip Lindsay on the drive. It's just been so special, and I really don't want this journey to end here as I'm driving a mile high to attend the AFC Championship game.
Well, Zach, that's one of the reasons I wanted to have you on. I think it was special, and your guys' show on Friday afternoon over at the Sportsbook, it got everyone hyped. It was like, oh, dang, now I got to wait 2 days for this for kickoff. It was that level, but we're at that point now. And Kyle and I have spent the last 3.5 hours talking about what we think is going to matter for the Broncos to be victorious today. But one of the reasons I wanted to get you on is because Denver is home for you now, and I think you've gotten a taste of Broncos country, but you also have an unbiased view of it because we grew up here. This is our team, and obviously we're going to look every which way that the Broncos can be successful today. But your keys to the game today, how do you see it playing out if the Broncos are going to punch their ticket to Super Bowl 60?
I think the defense is going to have to be the very best version of themselves. And I was just listening to James Marilat before you guys brought me on talk about how this defense has kind of fallen here in recent months. It's really been about 2 months. And it's concerning because it follows the same arc as last year, where the Broncos defense was mostly dominant. And then somehow, some way, in the last month of the season, they were the worst total defense in the entire NFL. Like, how is that possible? And while it hasn't been that drastic or dramatic of a contrast, I don't know, man. You have to really not know what you're looking at to watch that Buffalo game and feel 100% comfortable with this defense as well. And two things can be true at the same time. Yes, the Broncos defense was fantastic enough to force the turnovers that they did, which was the singular reason why the team won. Well, I shouldn't say singular. It was some clutch plays from Bo Nix down the stretch and throughout that game. But the turnovers, like when you guys, think about this. If the Broncos lost last week and the game went into overtime, they won by a field goal, 33-30. If they lost, they would have been the second team in NFL history to have a turnover margin that positive and lose. And it was close. I mean, it was really close. It was a controversial call away. So to force 5 turnovers and still give up 30 points, I mean, if you're paying attention, you have to be a bit concerned. I mean, 450 yards of offense. Forcing 5 turnovers and still giving up 30, it should be statistically impossible. So they have to get back on the right track, and I think they will. And I look at this defensive line against the offensive line of New England, specifically on the left side of New England's offensive line. And, Cello, you heard me talk about this on Friday since you referenced the show. Rookie left tackle out of LSU, I'll pick Will Campbell. He has been ranked 87th out of 92 qualified offensive tackles when giving up pressure since he returned from his injury. He missed some time. Since he's been back, he hasn't been the same. He's been bad, okay? And Nick Benito, after ending the season kind of quiet, looked like Von Miller last week. So the defense is going to have to play great. Long story long. Sorry for being long-winded. I'm excited. But Nick Benito is going to have to be that Von Miller, version of himself. By the way, if he forces one more fumble, Nick Benito would have the franchise record for most forced fumbles in a single postseason. And then next to him is a rookie left guard as well, next to Will Campbell. So you have rookie on the left side of the offensive line. I think it's a real opportunity for this Bronco defense to reestablish who they are at their core.
I think that's why a lot of people are gaining confidence in the Broncos, because I mentioned it. It's less about the Broncos and more of us learning about who the Patriots are. And just tell me, like, you disagree with me, please, because I think it makes for good radio. But Vance Joseph has to look at that and say, those are matchups that I have to exploit. And I said that in the first show. Jello poo-pooed it because that's what we do. But Vance Joseph is going to be a key figure in winning this football game. And I don't think I'm being hyperbolic when I say that, Zach.
No, and look, Vance Joseph, he's been a topic of conversation for years here in Denver. Just his story is really unique. The arc of the story, it's got a chance to be historically unique if he can be the best version of himself. Vance Joseph is a smart defensive coordinator, and you're right. I mean, he's got to look at that and look, he's forgotten more football than I'll ever know, but you've got to look at that and say, okay, what games can we run, right? And also, guys, if they're going to be running silent count, it should be flagged when they're going to snap the football. And that's an opportunity for just good on good right there on the edge. But within that matchup, right, Vance has to be schematic and timely, you know, and against Buffalo, he at one point, guys, he dropped 9 guys into coverage, and it really confused Josh Allen. It really confused him, and it was super timely. And, you know, Allen ended up figuring it out at the last second to his tight end on the left side there. But it's timely pressures like that. Go back 2 years ago, Steve Spagnuolo against Buffalo, Kansas City, against the Bills. And on the final play of the game on 4th down, Steve Spagnuolo, for the first time in the entire game, sent a corner blitz. And Allen was late to figure it out in that case. And so it's got to be pushing the right buttons at the right time. When are those times going to be the most pivotal? I don't know. The game hasn't started yet. We're not sure. But when those times present themselves, Vance Joseph has to be the best version of himself. And if he doesn't, and the Broncos defense falters again, there's going to be a larger conversation about Vance and his fit here in Denver, because, like I said, 2 years in a row, and again, despite the win last weekend, 2 years in a row, this defense has not been the fall version of itself. September, October, November, the December, January version hasn't been so hot. So he has got to find a way. And if he doesn't, you know, the Broncos' incredible journey could come to an end today.
He is the host of The Drive on 104.3 The Fan at Denver Sports. That's the voice of Zach By. Zach, we're at the time, and we certainly appreciate you cutting out some time to join us this morning. You mentioned the ride, and you don't want it to be over. Tell me what you think. Give me your prediction of the game today, and are you riding home knowing that ride is going to continue on to Santa Clara?
Man, I'm not a person that likes to make predictions based off gut feeling. You guys know me by now. I've been on the air for nearly a decade behind that microphone that you're sitting behind right now, Cello. And I like to draw from substance. I like to point to evidence. And in this case, I can't. The defense has not been great. Jarrett Stidham hasn't started a game or thrown a pass in 749 days. Twice the NFL record for a quarterback that has gone that many days without throwing a pass and is asked to start a postseason game. He has started 4 more games in his career than I have. And yet still somehow, I think the Denver Broncos figure out a way to win this game. And I'm going to go.
You just went WWE on us, bud.
As good as the Patriots have been, they have never, ever won in Denver. And Tom Brady was 7-1 against the rest of the NFL on the road. But he was 0-3 in Denver. And Jarrett Stidham might not be Bo Nix, but Drake May ain't Tom Brady. Give me the Denver Broncos in Denver every single time against New England.
Love it, man.
That is Zach off the top rope.
16-13 Broncos.
Let's go.
Love it, man. Zach, we appreciate it, bud. Enjoy your time at the game, and we'll be certainly tuned in tomorrow afternoon to listen to your takes on it.
I love you guys. Thank you for having me on. I love being here. I have 3 hats, 3 layers of pants, 5 layers up top, 2 scarves, and a bottle of tequila.
There we go. There we go. Hey, keep your feet dry. That's the biggest key.
I got 3 layers of socks.
Let's go.
All right,
Let's go. All right. All right, Zach. Thank you. Have fun, man.
Thank you, guys. Cheers.
Oh,
see you, bud.
Man. That was great.
Oh, he had me going down the other path.
I was getting ready for my
doesn't matter what you think
of Zach. I was like, all right, I'm going to have to come and rescue. But, man, he teed it up, picked the Broncos to win 16-13 on the other side. Cello and I. Rashawn, have you picked yet?
No, I have not.
Oh, man, you're going to get 3 predictions from us when we come back.
Will the Broncos defense have an answer for Drake May? Will Sean Payton find more success in the run game? We'll break it all down in the Fan Football pregame show, live on game day from Mile High Station starting at 11 a.m. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Are you worrying about those upcoming credit card bills after the holidays? If you're a homeowner, there's no better time than now to call American Financing and wipe out that debt. Eliminate the stress and set yourself up for a strong 2026. The Fed dropped rates for the 4th time in December, guys. American Financing can help you access that equity in your home at an interest rate in the low 5s. You heard that right, in the low 5s. That's a much lower rate than the average 20% or more credit card rate. American Financing is saving their customers an average of $800 a month. Guys, that's like a $10,000 raise to start the new year. There are no upfront fees and no obligation to see how much you can save. And they are closing some in as fast as 10 days and even delaying 2 mortgage payments. Call American Financing, Colorado's home for home loans, at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org. APR for rates in the 5 start at 6.196% for well-qualified buyers. Call 303-695-7000 for details about credit costs and terms.
All right, football fans. Foundation Kia wants you to catch a ride to the playoffs in an all-new Kia Sportage plug-in hybrid.
We got cars, yes we do!
With all-wheel drive, bold style, and smart tech that reads the field, this SUV is built for the mile high.
Woohoo!
Go Gridiron! Go big savings! Go Foundation! See us in Wheat Ridge or visit foundationkia.com and catch a ride.
You're listening to Sports Talk Radio at work. So is your competition. So are your customers. Denver sports fans don't half listen. They argue. They text in. They remember stats from 1998. They remember who sponsors their obsession. Audio, video, or online. We've got every angle covered. DenverSports.com. Make your move.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here. I wore glasses as a kid growing up. Then I had LASIK surgery. When I hit my 50s, I started needing those reading glasses to see menus, text, read stats, see my computer, study film. Well, I decided to go see Dr. Cudarelli at Cudarelli Vision for refractive lens exchange. It is a game changer, and it could be for you as well. Join Dr. Cudarelli for his live webinar to learn more about refractive lens exchange from Cudarelli Vision, January 28th at noon. This free webinar is the perfect opportunity to meet Dr. Cudarelli and have him answer all your questions about Cudarelli Vision RLE. Who's a good candidate? How long is the procedure and recovery time? What's the cost? Dr. Cudarelli is Colorado's most experienced with over 90,000 vision correction procedures. He can tell you when it's your right time for RLE like he did for me. Register for the webinar at coloradorle.com. It's January 28th at noon. Cudarelli Vision RLE. No readers, no glasses, no contacts, no cataracts. ColoradoRLE.com.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation. Schedule a free inspection with Groundworks, the foundation and waterproofing experts.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Hey Broncos country, it's Terrell Davis here. It's a new year. It's time to work on a new you.
At Fitness Gallery, we have deals everywhere, up to 50% off. We have the nation's lowest prices on the best equipment money can buy. We carry true treadmills. They are the smoothest, quietest, and best warranted treadmills ever built for the home. Work out on your schedule on the equipment you choose, from the safety and comfort of your own home. Visit one of Fitness Gallery's 7 convenient locations from Colorado Springs to Fort Collins. We have you covered.
Getting you set for today's game. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents Denver Gameday. Powered by CommonSpirit Health, official healthcare partner of the Denver Broncos.
Man, I sometimes take for granted what it is a treat to do this show. Like,
yeah,
it's fun to do this. It's been a really good run, as we talked about with Zach in the last segment there. And it's upon us. Here we are, yet another AFC championship game in the Mile High City. And the Broncos are going to be playing for an opportunity to play in Super Bowl 60. I couldn't be more geeked about it. I'm nervous about it. I mean, all the feelings.
Well, and no one could have done it better than ZB just did, right?
Goodness.
He looked like he was taking a turn to negative town, only to lead us down the primrose path and come off the top rope with it.
And man, that was classic. That was classic coming off the top rope. That's Zach Bye. And if you don't get a chance to listen to him, he's on 2 to 6, Monday through Friday with Philip Lindsay on The Drive. So I'm not going to try to follow that. I'm just going to give you my prediction. Like, yeah. Don't try. Don't try. Leave it alone.
But it's at that point of the show and the day where you're just a couple hours away from kickoff now, man. Like, the excitement is starting to boil over.
Yeah. I think, we don't usually do the game day show, but we've talked about all the things that might be a factor. We had Chris Bianchi on, talked about the weather, how to stay warm out there, obviously be safe. We had James Marilat on. He's given us the history of the organization, talked about the games that they actually lost and how far they've come. And then Zach Bye gives us just a classic prediction that should go on YouTube, Sean, if you can clip that up.
I mean, it's already on.
Yeah, no doubt about it. There's one factor that we haven't talked about, probably not enough, and that's R.J. Harvey. I mean, this is a rookie that was drafted by Sean Payton, and Sean Payton said, all right, I know Hampton is out there, but I got my guy. And the early returns have been very positive. This week he talked about R.J. Harvey and his ability to make plays in space. That's going to be something that the Broncos need today. Sean, you got that audio?
Yes, I do.
Now, they didn't. His senior year, they threw it to him more, but there's times where he's like, maybe the ball's dumped to him, the defender has an angle, and so he has that make you miss. And I would say that balance, that short area quickness, that makes him effective, ball in hand as a receiver.
Sean, you've mentioned Josh McDaniels a couple times. People talk about you and Andy as play callers, or Kyle and McVay and their tree. Josh didn't maybe get brought up as much. But why do you think that is, and what do you think about him?
That was Sean Payton talking about R.J. Harvey. You saw it last week. He caught a ball out in the flat. This was a third down play, by the way. Made a defender miss, and then finished by punishing the secondary guys that came to tackle him and kind of
Listen, he brought up making you miss, but he's hard to bring down.
Oh, my.
I mean, his ability to break tackles, and we talked about it earlier in the show. So if you have to forego some of those runs to get him that ball in space like we're talking about, it's going to be – I think it surprises a lot of defenses because a lot of guys go down, first contact. R.J. Harvey ain't one of those dudes, and he'll be playing for something a little bit more today. So I'd expect him to play pretty well as well.
Really encouraged, excited. I didn't realize he was as good as he is catching the ball and making plays in space. Now, the Patriots have a guy that's been pretty good. I talked about Ramondre Stevenson catching 7 passes in the playoffs up to this point for 80-something yards. So, that's going to be something to keep an eye on for both teams throughout the course of the game today. Let's go ahead and get to our predictions because we have about 4 minutes left, and I don't want to go over. And I'm not going to go all Zach Bye on you, but we need a little bit of time to work through this. Sean, I'm going to start with you, and then we'll flip a coin over between.
You want to start with NFC?
Oh yeah. Oh, they're playing a game too.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot about that. Who cares? The Seahawks.
Okay, I'm going to take the Rams on that one.
I got the Rams on that one.
Okay. You don't believe in Sammy?
That's the one thing. Until I see it, I won't believe it.
Okay. I just don't think that the game is going to be the same that it was last week. I think the 49ers were dejected. They were running on fumes. And Seattle took clear advantage of that. So this week, I think the Rams coming in, better quarterback, better receivers, 2 tight ends, 2 running backs. Give me the Rams.
I saw Sam Darnold play a really mediocre football game last week, and they still scored 40 points and beat the hell out of the 49ers. And, the 49ers.
So you think for real, not Fugazi.
The Seahawks?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're for real. I think you asked me
you
earlier
think
in the
Sam
season.
Darnold is?
I think it doesn't matter.
Oh, wow. They're that good.
Yes.
I disagree. I think they lose tonight.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Now, I'm going to be on
now
your
let's
line.
Get to the game now.
Yeah.
Now let's get to the game that matters.
All right, Sean, what you got? Broncos, Patriots. The Patriots 5 and some change in the Vegas odds.
Yeah, it's decreased like over the last few days. It's decreased down to like 3.5. And I think the reason for that is that more people are starting to have a little bit of a wake up call, and they know that Jarrett Stidham he was paid a nice sizable bag, like to be a backup quarterback for these moments. And now that his number's called, you know what time it is, Kyle.
Okay,
it's an easy call.
Beating you're taking the Broncos. Come on, say it. Come on, say it. I got it. Come on, Raider fan.
I'm picking the Broncos to win 26-23.
Love it. All right, Cello. Why,
man?
Tell me why.
Listen, man.
What's in the box?
I've talked about all the emotions that Broncos country has had to go through over the past 7 days. I'm no different than anyone else that are listening. You looked kind of dejected and maybe almost defeated when you found out the news that your signal caller wasn't going to be able to participate. But when you go into breaking down this game and what they have to do to come out victorious against the Patriots today, they have all the pieces. They have all the pieces, and most times if you went to a backup quarterback, you would not say that. And I don't discredit people for looking at it that way from the outside looking in and thinking there's no shot that the Broncos win. But you never know when you're going to get back here. You have 52 other guys in that locker room that know what opportunities in front of them today. And I think you playing at home in the elements in a place that Drake May, I don't think he's been to Mile High. You're going to get a real taste of that today. You're going to get a taste of a loud Broncos country screaming and supporting this team. I'm no different. Give me the Broncos 27-24.
No matter what happens, I think this is going to be a matchup for years to come. I think Mike Vrabel has done a really good job of galvanizing a team. You look at that team, like there are some guys that were around there for those 4-win seasons. Barmore was there. Gonzalez was there. Ramondre Stevenson
3-14
was
last
there.
year.
They were trash. I mean, they know. And so I think that franchise is going in the right direction. I think from a coaching standpoint, that is going to be the X factor. And both teams have really, really, really good coaching. And there are going to be some wrinkles that make the difference in this game. I think the Broncos are really good at creating wrinkles, specifically Sean Payton. Vance Joseph is going to have to pull something out of that bag to create an advantage at some point in the game. Whether that's Benito, I would love for Cooper to wake up, has been a little bit quiet. Whether that's Dre Greenlaw, oh, by the way, this game is why you are here.
Yeah.
Hufanga, this game is why you are Evan Ingram. I don't have to keep going. You guys understand what I'm saying. I think the Broncos out-coach the Patriots today. They finish with the ball, and the Broncos win 23-22 on a last-second field goal.
Wow. There you go. 28th anniversary from Broncos winning their first world championship. All these different coincidences, I think, mean something. Go Broncos, man.
It's too much in the air, man. It's too much.
The Duke will be there.
Yes.
Champ will be there.
And this is just the beginning.
The champ is
here. It really is. Because next year,
my best friend Peyton Manning.
There's no Russell Wilson. All that's in the rear view, man. What did Sean Payton tell us? Maybe it wasn't Sean, but it's the reason that windshields are bigger than the rear view mirror.
That's Jelly Roll.
Oh, okay. Let's go. All right, that's it for me and Cello. Sean Boyd, thank you. Great job. We're out of here. Denver Gameday. Broncos, they win today.
Happy New Year, Susan. I really appreciate you picking up the bill for lunch.
I'm happy to. One of my New Year's resolutions is being better with money. So I've started using Upside, the free app that pays you cash back for buying gas.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I earn cash back just for buying the gas I was already buying.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make $200 to $300 this year.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play and start earning cash back on everyday gas purchases. Use promo code RIDER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents per gallon on your next fill up. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code RIDER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code RIDER. Code RIDER.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
New year, new you, new. It's January at Castle Rock Autoplex, and we're exhausted from all these amazing deals. Get it? Exhausted? Ford, Chevy, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram. We've got more choices than you've got resolutions you're about to break. Why hit the gym when you can hit the lot? That new car smell burns 0 calories, but feels way better. Castle Rock Autoplex, where your New Year's resolution's finally one you'll keep. Beep, beep, baby. Let's do this.
Meet Morgan Jones. Morgan is about to step into a world unknown to most, thanks to Progressive's Renters Insurance, a place of fresh linens and turn-down service. You see, Morgan temporarily vacated her apartment and has gone to a hotel because a pipe burst in her apartment. A pipe that made her sense of reality and apartment ceiling all come crashing down. Luckily, Morgan checked into Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-771-1300. That's 800-771-1300.
Download to see if you qualify for Albert Instant Advance. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription is required for Instant Advance. Please see the Albert app or albert.com for subscription pricing. Subscriptions can be canceled at any time.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? You can get up to a $1,000 advance fast to pay for car repairs, bills, rent, groceries, whatever you need. Plus, Albert can help you find ways to save and give you a custom budget to actually grow your money.
Albert can get me up to $1,000?
Exactly. But they do more than get you up to $1,000. Albert is your financial assistant, helping you budget, save, and spotting you money in a pinch.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo